Hello my lovely friends and family, how are we all doing? I'm sure we are all doing amazing. I'm so excited for today because today I'm showing you 2 easy ways to make fufu from scratch. If you are abroad, we all buy the powder from the shops, but today we are going to use our own cassava and plantain just like home. And even if you're back home, I'm going to show you the simplest way without doing the tim. The guys in the house are going to be free henceforth, so let's get straight into it. I'll be using 1 medium-sized cassava and 2 medium-sized fingers of plantain for this fufu recipe. I'll first wash my plantains and cassava to get rid of any germs or particles from it. Once washing up is done, I'll peel my cassava by cutting the ends and hacking it with my knife and lifting the skin with the edge of the knife. I'll then divide my cassava into halves and further cut the halves into 2 because we want to get rid of the hard part in the central part of the cassava, which is the central vascular strands. This is like the hard part of the cassava which you do not want to incorporate into your fufu because you want your fufu to be as smooth as possible. The central vascular strands can be big as this, so be sure to cut it all out of your cassava before boiling it, okay? I'll also peel my plantain by making an insertion from top to bottom and lifting the skin with the edge of the knife to get just the edible part of the plantain. Once the skin is off, I'll hack the plantain with the knife and break it into 2. The reason why I don't divide it with the knife is because you do not want the plantain to soak up some of the water. And this is what my mom taught me as a little girl. I've mentioned it on this channel before, so this is just a reminder, okay? Peeling is done, so I'll fill it with some water to cook the cassava and plantain. Make sure not to fill it to the brim as we want it to almost cover the plantain and cassava but not totally cover it. I'll then set this on fire and allow it to boil. As I mentioned before, I'm showing you 2 methods of making your fufu from scratch. The first method, you boil the cassava, which I've already showed you on fire boiling. But for the second method, you cut your cassava and plantain into really tiny bits because you're not going to boil it from the onset, you are going to blend it. So make sure to cut it into very tiny bits to aid your blender when blending. Please take note, I'm using the same proportion of cassava to plantain, which is 1 medium-sized cassava and 2 medium-sized plantain. Chopping up is done. I'll transfer it to my blender and add just enough water to aid blending the cassava and plantain. You do not want to add too much water at this point because you will be able to add more when you are getting it ready to go into your microwave. If you add more water, you might not be able to take it out, so just add enough to aid blending and add more later. Blend it until it's very smooth in texture and transfer it to your bowl and it will go into the microwave. I'm using a ceramic bowl as it's a safer kind of material for microwaves. I'll rinse my blender with some water because I do not want to leave any of my fufu at all to chance, and I'm using just a little bit of water because I still do not know how much water I'll have to add. I'll then stir to combine, and at this point I realized the water was too small as the consistency we're going for is that of a plain yogurt or even just slightly lighter. So I'll add more water and stir to combine. Now I've achieved my desired consistency, so I'll go straight ahead and pop it into the oven and allow it to do its own thing for about 15 minutes. Now the plantain and cassava I set on fire is ready, so I'll discard the water I used to boil it. I find both methods very simple because for this method, once it's ready, all you need to do is to transfer your cassava and plantain to your food processor while it's very hot, or else if it gets cold it's going to get lumpy. So I'll then transfer this and cover it and blend it away, and that will be it. Very simple. No turning, no tim as I mentioned before. Just blend it until it's very smooth in texture, just like the fufu you know back home. I'll quickly check if it's ready, and checking, I realize I have to blend it a bit more, so I'll cover it and allow it to blend a bit more and we'll be done. Blending is done and my fufu is looking very smooth, just as I wanted. I'll transfer it to my earthenware and mold it just like back home. Don't forget to smear your earthenware with a little bit of water to prevent your fufu from sticking onto it. I'll mold it with my eta until it looks very smooth and attractive. This part really excites me as it makes me feel I'm in my little chop bar molding fufu for my customers, and the end result, just look at that, just like the one back home. It looks so beautiful and I can't wait to eat it. The one using the microwave method is also ready. I'll bring it out of the microwave, do a little bit of turning, and it should be ready as well. Both methods are very simple and easy to follow. So I transferred it to my plate and tried to mold it, but it wouldn't mold beautifully as using the earthenware. Our parents and grandparents, our ancestors knew exactly what they were doing, so I had to transfer it to my earthenware to mold it into the beautiful shape I was looking for. So these are the two ways you can make your fufu from scratch. Very simple and easy to follow, healthy as well, as you're making it with the actual ingredients. You don't have to buy the flour which has some preservatives. This is very simple. You should try it. If you've tried it before, kindly leave it in the comment section and share your experience with us. Of course, I wouldn't make just fufu without soup. I made some beautiful and tasty tilapia soup which I posted in my previous video. I'm going to pair this with my fufu. If you haven't seen the tilapia soup recipe, click on the link above and see how I prepared this sumptuous soup.
Easy, right? So now you know how to make fufu the healthy way and very easy. If you do try it, as usual, don't forget to tag us on your Instagram status at Debsy's Delight. And if you haven't followed me on Instagram, please go to the Instagram now and search at Debsy's Delight, because there are a lot of things going on there. Sometimes I do share my daily activities and what I'm up to, so you're really missing out. So don't forget to go on Instagram and follow me now, as well as please like our Facebook page, Debsy's Delight. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in my next video. But until then, remember, I love you all, but God loves you the most. Bye for now.